tweets.
Right, as we refresh the feedback there, I remember I just hinted earlier in the beginning of the show that we have a high-profile delegation honoring us this afternoon as we just preview the first semi-final of the 2018 FIFA World Cup. On my immediate right is Madame Kim Ramoneda, the charge d'affaires at the French Embassy. And then on my extreme right is Monsieur Nicolas Nihon, who is the Belgian Ambassador. Thank you so much for joining us. And Mr. Johan Cruyff, he's also a high-profile guest, but he'll be giving us just a sense of what the tactical components of the game. But for now, what I'm interested in finding out, for most people, they don't realize that France and Belgium, they're different countries, but they're so similar in so many ways.
Do you want me to start?
Anyone can start.
Maybe I can start with the differences, because I mean, the first thing is the language. A lot of people think we all speak French in Belgium, which is not the case. 60% of the population speaks Dutch and the rest French, and we still have a minority speaking German. So we have actually 3 national languages.
Yes.
And the second thing is that we are a federal state with the regions and communities of Belgium assuming a lot of competences.
Yes.
And the third thing, which is not a detail, we are a monarchy. The head of state is a king, King Philip, while France is a republic.
Yes.
But especially, I would say, the French speakers are watching a lot the French TV, are listening to the French radios, and we have through this French language somehow a part of a culture which is shared. And we are neighbors. We've always been neighbors. And there was also a time where we were even together in the past in the same political construction. So that's what I would say as an introduction.
Okay. It feels very interesting how that pans out, because when I look at France and Belgium, I look like at Kenya and Uganda, we're neighbors. Looking at where Belgium is positioned, I think in the northeast, neighboring France, how close are those relationships? Because you have the language component here. The ambassadors mentioned that about 60%. There's a large number of about 40%, right, who speak French.
Yeah.
Obviously, in France, almost 100% speak French.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
I think what is linking us is also because we are part of Europe. Yes. We are part of the European Union, and so it's very big, and where we can share, we can travel, we can make trade, we can even participate to the polls. So we are very close for that, more than to be just neighbor, and so that's why with this World Cup we can't lose any of us, because anyway it will be Europe. We will win.
Okay.
That's true.
What is also fascinating is the language. Yes, you speak French as well, but there's some small elements that are different, especially numbering. How does that come about?
Yes, and we say like they say 60-10.
Yes.
And we say like 70.
Yes.
But we both say 4 times 20 to say 80.
Okay.
So over the years, things evolve, but also in different regions of France or different regions of Belgium, where you will not always, use the same type of vocabulary. That's what makes it fun.
Your Excellency, it's interesting that also that relationship is so strong that the Belgians have borrowed one of France's top stars, Thierry Henry, to be behind the scenes. What do you think is going on through his mind right now? He's playing against his country of birth. He's in the technical bench for Belgium. What do you think is going on through his mind right now?
I can't talk for him, but as I said, we are European before all, and so and the sport is the purpose of sport is to participate before to win, and I think it has to be this spirit that lead the people participating.
You could say Roberto Martinez is a Spaniard, and he could be maybe very sad that Spain didn't make it.
Absolutely.
But I think just like our French support, he's a professional. This is why he's paid, and I think a professional is just like aiming at doing what's best for what he's paid for, and let's remember that football is also a business.
Okay.
So and I think in this case, right, it's really the first time we have a non-Belgian coach, which is pretty interesting, and I think it's pretty positive in a sense that it's not identified with one of the communities in Belgium. He's just a foreigner coming, bringing his talent to coach a Belgian team.
Okay. Johan, I'm sure for you, you're looking at today's game in a more tactical kind of way. similarities between the two sides, Belgium and France. Some would say they are almost the same. They're almost at par if you look at how they've been playing in the World Cup so far. But it's just more than that.
Yeah, so I think that the two teams are very good at counter-attacking, and they've been able to do that very well all along the tournament. I think though that Belgium is a bit more expensive. They're the highest scorers in the World Cup so far. France tends to play a bit more conservative. They'll sit back and try to counter, whereas sometimes Belgium can take the game with a higher press on the opposition team, which they've been doing a few times.
Okay, finally, Your Excellency, the World Cup, in your honest opinion, how has it been for you this time round? As in, I'm sure you've been following previous tournaments, maybe by chance, but this year's World Cup, how is it in your honest opinion?
For me, it's a very nice World Cup. We were saying about the attitude of the supporters.
Yes.
We haven't seen a lot of incidents, and yes, every country is behind his own team. But now we are in semi-final. We see that people can support another team. So it's I think the spirit of sport is well represented.
Okay. The passionate Belgian fans, that's something that's really stand out in this year's World Cup. Belgium against France, it's just the perfect, some would say that is the final before the final.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, we have sometimes mixed feelings, you know, with the neighbors. You know, we love them, we hate them. So, but somehow we thank France for beating the Argentinians, because the Argentinians, you know, in '86 they kicked us out.
Yes, I remember.
And it's some sort of a trauma with the Argentinians. You never know what's going to happen. It was at the time Maradona. And so we were actually, when France was playing against the Argentinians, we say, for once, we don't want France to win, but this time we really want them to win.
Yeah.
So the job has been done, thank you. And now we're in front of one another, and one has to survive, and whatever happens, you know, we'll still be friends. So, but I think the French had it in '98, and for us, for this generation, I think it's now or never, and they know it. But who knows what's going to happen. So
yes, Michael King, who knows what will happen. Belgium have never won the World Cup. France have experience in lifting the coveted title. A few hours to go. We'll see how it pans out.